Hello, welcome back to our TCAP commentary. So today we're going to do Christopher Ubban. It's been a pretty long time since we've watched original mid-2000s TCAP, so we're back, right? We're back. And with someone that I've been wanting to do again for a while now, because if you don't remember my Christopher Ubban video that I first did, the possum was kind of like half-assed. And that video was actually very rushed. If you go back and watch it, I actually say that I was going to go do my driver's license test, right? So I was like in a hurry. But right now we're gonna do this shit properly, right? We're gonna do it properly. But yeah. We're just gonna start the intro. First time I've said that. If you like TCAP, check out the channel. I have a lot of videos. Including police interrogations, right, true crime style, and like that will come in soon enough. But anyway, let's just get to it, right?
All the attention we had received from the first two investigations would prevent men from showing up, and I worried that we'd come back with nothing but video of me pacing around a kitchen by myself. That wasn't the case.
What's that?
All right. We're going head in first. So we have Christopher Ubban, 26 years old, also known as Six Pack SoCal If. I assume that's like South California, but I mean I don't know. It could be something else, right? Like I don't know, Sock Aleph, right? I don't know what that means. I'm just talking.
Alright. I wash my hands, alright?
The Riverside investigation was scheduled to last 3 days. By the second day, we had 35 men visit our house.
35
including
guys.
This guy, who shows up to meet a girl half his age. He comes in and he's jittery, he's jazzed up. And he goes to wash his hands. Well, I'm watching from the next room. And, you know, I don't like every approach to be the same. Paper towels right over here. So I grab a paper towel. He sees me and I hand it to him. And at first he just thinks, oh, gee, thanks. And then there's
thanks.
You know, he figures out that this is going to be a problem.
Oh, man. Like, okay, look. You know, you realize when Chris is telling this joke, man, he has this smile on his face like, man, I am hilarious. Right, let me see.
And, you know, I don't like everything the same.
Hold on.
Paper towels right over here.
Paper towel.
So I grab a paper towel. He sees me and I hand it to him.
Like, look at him. He thinks this shit is hilarious, man. It's like, this ain't funny, Chris, right? You're ruining someone's life. No, I'm kidding. He deserves it. But anyway, no. I love when Chris thinks he's funny, right? Because it's just, he can be funny, but at the same time, like, never would you imagine that Chris Hansen is a jokester, right? It makes no sense. But he's like, you know what? It'll be very funny if I hand him a towel. See, the towels are right here. Oh, so
paper towels right over here.
Paper towels are right here.
So I grab a paper towel. He sees me and I hand it to him. And at first he just thinks, oh, gee, thanks. And then this, you know, he figures out that this is going to be a problem.
Would you have a seat right over on the stool there, please? Oh, who are you?
I'm Chris.
Chris.
I'm Chris.
And who did you come to see, Chris?
What's your name?
What's her name?
I'm sorry. Oh, you caught me off guard.
He's
jazzed up.
He looks like he's on some kind of a drug. And in fact, later, police found methamphetamines in his car.
You came to see Kelly.
Okay. I did make fun of the way he does say methamphetamines, right? Methamphetamines. Oh, so good. You know, never would I imagine. Oh, look at him. He's all jazzed up, right? Oh, man. Never would I imagine someone like Chris would, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I'm essentially trying to say that a voice like Chris is, you know, like, imagine we would have never found out, right? Like, I don't know. It's a very weird thing that I'm trying to say, but, like, imagine if we never had Chris's voice. Like, where we would have been missing out on some really good entertainment, right? That's what I'm trying to say. I guess. I don't know.
Caught me off guard.
Caught me off guard.
You know, shaky. He looks like he's
jazzed
on
up.
some kind of a drug. And in fact,
I don't
later,
see it. I do gotta say, I don't see it.
Methamphetamines in his car.
You came to see Kelly.
Yeah.
And how old is Kelly?
Kelly's way too young for me.
Way too young for you.
Yeah.
Then why did you come here, Chris?
I don't know why he said he looked like he was high. He does it. Like, maybe I'm just being a little, naive. But I'm not one for drugs. I mean, you guys know me, right? I would never, right? I would never, ever do no drugs, right? Never. But anyway, like, it just looks like he's nervous, or like he's one of those type of guys that is like very, I don't know, he like a quick talker, very expressive, right? Who knows? Also, I'm seeing this, one, like a knee on the chair, right? Like, how about you actually sit down, right, before Ron Knight comes in, tackles you from the side, and like, I don't know, throws you over the table. Like, you don't want that, man.
For you.
Yeah.
Then why did you come here, Chris?
I came here to tell you that, actually.
To tell her that she was way too young.
Actually, I did, yeah.
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 Oh,
So you drove all the way from where?
I drove from Rancho because I was tempted at first, and then I was thinking on the way down here, I was like, you know what? I can't really do this. I don't feel right in my conscience. Like, I'm a conscience type person.
Yeah, I could tell.
yeah, definitely.
You're a conscious type person by
I'm
your
very,
by
very,
your
very
chat
conscious. Yeah, like, and then I was gonna come here and tell her, I don't want to do anything. I didn't bring any condoms.
You did not?
No, so.
I mean, you can take them out of your pocket now. I know from the chat that the decoy had asked him to bring condoms. So I asked him, and he reaches into his pocket.
I brought this, but this.
And he pulls out a Glock 45. Chris, the thing is Chris, you might think he's in danger, right? But he's told us before that he wears these bulletproof vests, right? I'm pretty sure it wasn't at this point just yet. Did he only wear that in not Takedown? Hansen versus Predator? Was that the only time? No, that wasn't the only time. That was at some point. I think it's at the house where Kevin from the air base or whatever, Kevin from the base, that guy, I don't even remember his name. It was that house where, with like the Ice Truck Killer, where he wore like a, I don't know, maybe he was in the ghetto, who knows, right? I don't know.
Into his pocket.
I brought this, but this
and
is
tries
really
to kill me.
Even test it. That's way watered down.
Way watered down.
Way watered down.
What is that?
Way watered
It's a
down.
151, but it was this much left, and I put a bunch of water in it. So.
You did?
Yeah, dude.
A lot
And
of
that was
water.
why'd you do that?
Because I didn't want to. I wanted to leave it here when I left and just say, here, you can have this.
What? Okay, he could have went into a better direction for that. Like, how is it you go, yeah, just to prove, Chris, from one Chris to another, to prove that I wasn't here for anything, right? I was just going to provide this minor with alcohol, man. That was all I was going to do, right? Nothing illegal, right? I'm sure that's not illegal. And I'm able to get out here scot-free, right? Scotch, I don't know, scratch-free. I don't remember how the line goes. God, I'm a little stupid. I do get
that.
Because I didn't want to. I wanted to leave it here when I left and just say, here, you can have this, and that's
all.
So
That's
you
about
were
all
going
you
to
can
come
have.
over here and say, look, do me a favor, though, and just keep your hands out of your pockets, unless
Oh,
you're
no,
getting your condoms out of there.
That's fine.
Yeah, just get what you're getting and put them right on the counter.
Yeah, there was one, but it's no good.
It's
I
What?
always carry it with me. It was always in my wallet. I took it out of my wallet
classic.
when I was in my car, and yeah. No, I have nothing to. I honestly was gonna come here and tell her I didn't want to do anything.
$5, right? Oh man, I would have swiped that, right? Swiped it. Is that the condom? I don't know, because it kind of looks like a candy wrapper. Who knows? Very cool. What is this? Oh, chips, or as some people that are from from America, crisp, right? I think it's a little bit of a dumb thing to say, right? I do gotta say, sorry to all my foreigners that are not from America, right? It's not crisps, it's chips. Because I said so. Oh, I'm stupid. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. What a cool wallet, I do gotta say. But
And tell her I didn't want to do anything. Honestly, was gonna come here and tell her I didn't want to do anything.
Right.
And tell her, you know what, you're extremely young for this.
Right.
You know.
You were going to come
What?
here and tell 13-year-old Kelly that
oh,
you didn't
Dale
want to
Harvey.
do anything with her,
I
but
really
here's some Bacardi rum and
Bacardi.
I was
a
actually gonna-
condom and
I was
all
actually-
kind of. Did you
honestly-
transmit this photograph?
Oh my.
The picture of your cock.
I didn't know I sent that one.
You didn't know.
What?
Well, actually, yeah, I did, but wow. I wasn't thinking of.
To a 13?
This is something I don't think I've mentioned often. Same thing. Like, imagine having your prized, your weenie, right? Your blank being shown off by somebody. Like, imagine it's just like, by the way, Chris Urban, right? I have your blank right here on this piece of paper, man. Look at them. Look at the pictures, man. Is that your blank, Chris Urban? Is it, man? I don't know. I can't tell. It's blurred out. I don't know what that is, man. Kind of coke.
To a 13-year-old girl.
I'm sorry. You're right. I know. I wasn't thinking.
And then he says, and we hadn't heard this before.
Hey, look at me. I didn't even take a shower. If I was coming down like that, I would have taken a shower. You know.
I would have showered.
I mean, that's the first thing you do.
How old are you?
You know, I'm 26 years old, sir.
26 years old.
And I really
twice
felt
the
bad.
age
I
of the
know,
girl you thought
know.
you were going to come see.
Like, I really feel bad, dude. Like, I mean, I don't even know how to tell you how I feel bad. Now, I was.
Here's more
like,
pictures.
So now
of
you
my
go on and do this.
I'm sorry. You know, because I was desperate sitting at home, I did. And it's not right to do. You're right. They should have, like, control things on those chat rooms.
Would you answer the door naked?
Oh, God. Oh, God. Yeah, that's one that we've heard so many times in TCAP where they just go, hey, will you open the door naked, right? Oh, man. I mean, to be fair, that's not an uncommon kink, right? Like, or at least I've heard, right? I don't know, man. A friend told me that was the case, right? I don't know. But what do you call it? I like how he gets close. He's like, Chris, listen to me, right? Is he just staring at us, right? Oh, man. He saw the camera. I doubt it, because they're probably hidden, because they're hidden cameras. But I lost my train of thought. Like, I also bit my tongue in the middle of that. I don't know if you could hear it. But
I was worried, like.
So now you go on and do this.
I'm sorry. You know, because I was desperate sitting at home, I did. And it's not right to do. You're right. They should have, like, control things on those chat rooms.
Would you answer the door naked?
And finally, when confronted with the transcripts, you know, he admitted that it didn't look good.
I really wasn't even going to come down here.
Yeah, but you did.
And when I did, because I didn't want to hurt somebody's feelings. I didn't want somebody to be absolutely hurt, okay? And sit there and go, oh my gosh, she didn't show up. You know, and I'm really, like, a conscious person. I mean, look at me. I'm so dirty, like.
I know. Well, I'll tell you what's dirty is this conversation.
You know what? Yeah, I know. I really should not have done this. I felt absolutely.
Yes, don't take my blank out of your mouth till I'm done.
I know.
Look, if somebody's telling me in the interview that
don't take my
they've got an addiction or compulsion that led them to this situation, you have to say, look, you're an adult. Having recognized that, perhaps you should have done something about it before you ended up walking into this house.
Yeah, I was not fantasizing.
I mean, you know, the whole impulsion and stuff conversation is so drawn out. Like, it's a conversation that it has been had a million times in TCAP, right? Where Chris always says you're addicted to the internet, and then I say that's not really that realistic, right? Like, these guys, it's not the internet that's getting them addicted to children, right? Like, they develop that on their own, most likely. I know there's a conversation of, like, hey, they get addicted to watching, you know, adult media, and they go from, like, you know, very tame vanilla stuff to, like, very, you know, crazy things, right? And only the internet provided them with all that stuff, and I get that. But at the same time, you can't blame the internet, right? Like, it's not the internet's fault that the person went to go, you know, looking for that kind of stuff. Like, if that's the case, everyone who would watch, you know, adult content on the internet will soon enough go after minors. Like, it just, like, that's a very slippery slope to just say that's the case. But I don't know. Like, Chris is right, though. You are an adult. Why is it you can't, you know, grow up and not do it, right? Like, I don't know. I mean, obviously they're just trying to find a way to get out.
Perhaps you should have done something about it before you ended up walking into this house.
Yeah, I was not fantasizing about a 13-year-old, for God's sake. You know, that's not right to do.
That's ridiculous. I would never do that.
All over you.
It's just, like I said, fantasy type things.
What would you do with two?
Yeah, it's just one to hear. And
Ew.
Now, you know that it's illegal.
I figured it had the parent. No, I didn't know that it was illegal.
Illegal to send this kind of material?
What?
I really didn't.
Somebody who you believe is underage?
I did not know that.
That's against the law.
Oh my God.
Here's what you need to know, Chris.
Oh my God, really? You're gonna... Oh, I didn't know it was illegal for me to show my blank to a kid, right? I had no clue, right? Oh, that sounds so stupid.
And that is that I'm Chris Hansen with DateLINE NBC, and we're doing a story on people who go, well, you're welcome to leave and take your stuff with you. But if there's anything else you'd like to say.
Also, whenever I didn't know what DEA stood for, people were chewing me up. Like, I'm sorry that I didn't know what the DEA is. Right now I know it's like about like the whole drug situation, right? It's about that kind of stuff. I still don't know what it stands for. Like, I could probably search it up, and I at some point knew, but at this point it's been so long. But yeah, now I know. Right, at first I had no clue what it meant. Sorry, right? I was only a little boy. Right? I didn't know what that was. Oh.
Okay. Please tell us. No. If not,
wait, leave me here. What the fuck?
The house, I didn't know that he was on probation.
He was
obviously that made his situation worse. When ultimately he was arrested.
He was on probation.
Turn around and put your hands behind your back.
Please don't do this, please, because I really wasn't going to do this.
Go ahead and cuff him.
Sir, please.
What?
Like, please.
Do you have anything illegal on you?
No,
Do you have any drugs or anything like that?
I have
When's the last time
crack in my
you used weed?
pocket.
I used it like 2 months ago, sir.
Is it 2 months ago usually means 2 days or 2 hours?
I am on probation for it.
What are you on
2
probation
days or
for?
2 hours.
For possession in July, and that's the last time I used it. It's been a few months.
For possession of meth?
Yes. Yeah, I did use an hour ago. Yeah. No, I'm not trying to get rid of it, sir. I really am not.
Which pocket?
Oh, look at that. I know it's only because I have to sign up for a class. I hadn't used it.
Buddy, that's a straight up crack pipe.
And reality sets in, dude. Look, yes, reality sets in right when I stepped out my front door.
You're right.
It did.
Yeah, it did.
And
you're exactly right. That's where the crime occurred.
No.
The minute you stepped out your front door,
and you
were headed toward having to meet with a 13-year-old girl to have.
Well, technically, the crime started when he sent, explicit content to what he thought was a 13-year-old girl, right? That's where the crime started, not when he left his front door. Like, a warrant could still be placed out for your arrest if they really wanted to. But that's always up to the detectives and stuff, which is a little bit. I might slander the police right now, and I don't mean anything by it. Like, it really seems that anyone that is like working in the human trafficking and like exploitation of people, like departments never want to work, because it's like I've seen so many predator catchers that on YouTube that like contact and do it properly. And all they say is like, oh, yeah, our division will get back to you. And there's never an update, right? Maybe it's just me that I don't really check in. But in my mind, I like to think that all the detectives that are in charge of cases like this don't do their job like at all. But, it's a blameless claim. I can't claim that to be the case, right? I'm just saying.
Toward having to meet with a 13-year-old girl to have sex. And that's where the crime occurred.
Okay, well, that's the crime, yeah. Christopher Ubban pleaded not guilty and is currently scheduled for a jury trial. Let's see. Oh, there's still more? Question mark? Christopher Ubban decided not to plead guilty like so many predators do, but his decision to fight his own guilt didn't change the expected end result. He was found guilty of a felony attempted lewd act with child under the age of 14 in a jury trial. He was sentenced to a year in jail with some credit for time served and 3 years of probation. He also must pay a bevy of fees and fines, had to register as a sex offender, and the terms of probations are very strict. Importantly, he could not communicate with minors on his computer, and internet usage are heavily monitored and regulated. Let's see, anything else? Anything else? Question mark? I assume it's just being drawn out for a mid-roll, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, right, let's go on to Chris Ubban. Right, why does he look so HD? What the flip? Oh, holy moly, that is scary. What the flip is that, man? Oh, who's that? I've never seen that woman. Anyway, I don't know why I'm staring at him. Anyway, so Chris Ubban, right? It's way watered down. You can't even test it, right? Test the alcohol percentage right now, Chris. Whip out the kit, right? Anyway, Urban showing off his watered down 151 rum is what that quote was for. Let's read out his stats quickly. Christopher Urban, aliases, six-pack SoCal. Okay, six-pack SoCal, California. I assume that's what it's for. What? Christopher Urban. I don't know why it's misspelled, right? Like, fix that right. Affiliations, vice president of a family-owned business. Oh, wow, actually. Date of birth, 1979, July 11th. He's male. He is 5'10", 150 pounds, hazel eye color, and brown hair color. Christopher Chris Robert Urban is a suspected predator featured in the Riverside, California edition of To Catch a Predator. He is known for being under the influence of illegal substances during the interview. So he was jazzed up. Like I thought Chris was just talking nonsense, right? But I should have known better. Anyway, Urban graduated from the Rancho. Oh shit. Okay, I also gotta say something. Yo, it is getting super cold. Like here in Houston, it's gonna get like 20 degrees tomorrow, which is today is Monday, 20th, January, 2025. I mean, you should know that we know what Monday I mean. But anyway. Urban graduated from Rancho Cucamonga High School. He worked for his family's company starting in 2001 doing sales. At the time of the sting, he was involved in smoking crystal meth, resulting in him having been arrested and put on probation for drug possession. 26-year-old Christopher Urban started a chat with a perverted justice decoy posing as a 13-year-old girl. Urban questioned about the decoy's virginity just 1 minute into their conversation. Whoa. Urban offered to teach her and referred to the decoy as a bad girl after she said that she was a virgin. He warned the girl not to inform anyone and told her that he might get into trouble. Then he inquired as to whether she would like to play with him, whether they could get naked together. Urban declared he was extremely horny and that he would strip for her. He then asked the decoy to open the door for him while naked. Urban asked if she ever performed oral sex and if she ever received it. He proceeded to ask if she ever made a man orgasm. Urban expressed interest in the decoy, swallowing his blank if she performed oral sex on him, and ordered her to not stop until he orgasmed. He claimed he didn't want to be in a relationship and just wanted to hook up. He then remarked that the first time would be painful for her, before inquiring as to if she had ever masturbated. Urban stated that he would only consent provided she kept their relationship private and made the decision regarding their sexual activity. Urban questioned the decoy if she was a police officer after more sexually explicit conversations, and warned that he could spend a lot of time in jail. The decoy reassured him, so they continued their sexual conversation and scheduled a meeting. So now for the sting part. Urban arrived at the sting house, anxious and riled up, obviously under the influence of drugs. He went inside, confirmed he had brought condoms, and started washing his hands. Urban received a paper towel from Chris Hansen when he appeared. Before turning to face him, Urban thanked him and looked around in a confused manner. Chris then instructed Urban to sit down. Chris then questioned Urban about what he came to see. Urban struggled to remember the decoy's name and admitted that Hansen had caught him off guard. Hansen confirmed the girl's name was Kelly and asked about the age of the girl. Urban replied that the decoy was way too young for him. He insisted he went to the house to inform the decoy that he was unable to have sex with her. Urban claimed that when driving there, he was initially attempted to have sex but decided against it because he was a conscious type person. Urban initially claimed he had no condoms with him before reaching into his pocket and pulling out a 151 Bacardi rum, claiming that it was way watered down. He announced that he would give the girl the rum before leaving. Urban then threw out his wallet onto the kitchen island, exposing a single condom before claiming it was no good and always had them on him. Urban later reiterated that he would have told the girl that she was far too young for him and wouldn't have had sex with her. Finally, Chris presented Urban with a nude picture he had sent a decoy. Urban replied, "Oh my," stunned and speechless in disbelief. He then claimed he was unaware that he had sent the picture before immediately admitting that he was aware that he had sent the image. Sorry, I'm in my bed. It's 35 degrees outside right now. I'm in my bed. I'm chilling. I'm very comfortable. So just bear with me. Let's see. But that he wasn't thinking straight. After that, okay, he wasn't thinking straight. After that, Urban took off his hat and stated that he hadn't showered. He maintained that he would take a shower before engaging in sexual activity. Urban asserted that he was concerned and felt really bad. Urban stated he wasn't going to the house while Chris continued to read from the conversation log. But he ultimately went because he didn't want to offend the decoy. Urban became more and more distressed as he remarked that he was so dirty. Urban asserted that he wasn't having fantasies about a 13-year-old, and that doing so was improper. As Chris read further into the chat log, Urban continued to utilize the fantasy defense and claimed he was unaware that sending pornographic images to minors was illegal. After Chris revealed he was with DateLINE NBC and the camera started rolling, Urban covered his face with his hat. Urban departed the sting house after gathering all of his belongings. After gathering all... I am so relaxed right now, it's not even funny. Urban was arrested immediately by Lieutenant Chad Bianco after exiting the sting house. Unbeknownst to DateLINE at the time, Urban was on probation, which made his situation much worse. Talking with police while sobbing, he claimed that the last time he used drugs was 2 months ago, but Lieutenant Bianco suspected that he used it 2 days or even 2 hours before his arrest. Methamphetamine was also found in his car. During his police interview, a pipe for smoking meth was also found on his person, which Urban said was for his rehab classes. Urban claimed that as soon as he left his front door, reality hit him. Shit, man. I need to take a nap. No, I'm kidding. Urban post-sting. That's crazy. According to Michael Molfetta, the lawyer representing Urban, he fully supported law enforcement efforts to apprehend grown men who seek children for sex online. He stated that as a father himself, he liked law enforcement being aggressive. However, he also mentioned that he believed that the authorities needed to follow appropriate and effective methods, which he claimed were not followed when they involved perverted justice and DateLINE in the case. Urban was originally charged with 3 felonies. This is probably super annoying to you guys. I'm sorry. Attempted lewd and lascivious acts with a child under 14 years of age. Attempted oral copulation with a minor under 14 years of age by force or fear. And attempted harmful matters sent to seduce a minor. His bail was set at $50,000. In May 2007, Urban was found guilty by a jury on 1 felony count of attempted lewd and lascivious acts with a child under 14 years of age. However, the jury was unable to reach a verdict on the remaining 2 felony counts and deadlocked. What? And I assume that just means they disagreed. I'm shedding so many tears here, right? Anyway, Urban Urban could have received a 4-year prison sentence, but instead, in October 2007, was sentenced to 1 year in jail with credit for time served. 3 years of probation, a lifetime registration as a sex offender, could not come into contact with children under the age of 18, strict supervision over his computer and internet usage, and had to pay a slew of other fees and fines. After serving his sentence, Urban worked on his drug addiction and is now clean and sober. According to his LinkedIn page, he is vice president for a family-owned business in California. Time for the trivia. Okay, so a TCAP fan apparently got Urban's phone number from a trade fair and texted him. Urban implied in the text exchange that he had found faith in God since the sting and that the media shouldn't dictate the truth about his case. Okay, the other one is, despite being under the influence and wearing a marijuana t-shirt at the time of the sting, he was also wearing a DEA cap. Okay, so what? It is possible that Urban's uncut interview was never released, as no dead MSNBC page or text archives with his name can be found online. The user who created uncut edits of the Hansen interviews did make one for Urban, but decided against releasing it due to Urban's circumstances at the time of his arrest. Hansen himself is unsure whether to label Urban as an actual sex predator, since he was a drug addict that was continually high on meth. It's difficult to determine how much his substance abuse contributed to his willingness to chat to a minor. I mean, I guess I could see that, I guess, but at the same time, who cares? Anyway, that was that.
Look at me, I didn't even take a shower.
Anyway, so we are going to call it there. So, you know, that was very cool. This fucking kid won't stop yelling. This is just what I deal with, right? This is what I would usually record on, in my closet. Maybe that's the, I don't know why I just opened this up. Well, I guess I'll start reading messages now. So it says, the pressure feeling, so, you know what? He got, Leafy is here. Oh yeah, the, walls got Leafy. I mean, I guess so, but that was just so weird of me. Anyway, we'll call it there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you some other time, right? See you later, alligator.